called First Steps. It's a bronze cast. The thing things that are interesting about this slide are the patina and how the clothing has been made to look more realistic through the application of the patina. So I'm guessing that's some sort of etching agent. Would you think, Beth? My personal expert.
I think it's like, yeah, some kind of acidic thing that you add, and then it gives it, like, I know when you're getting a copper, that greeny copper thing, you add like an acidy type thing.
Okay.
I guess it's like that.
This is another great example to talk about movement. Why do we see movement in this picture? The fabric, absolutely. And the other thing I think is great, that I do like about this picture, is it expresses a lot of emotions. How do you think that this little boy feels, or child feels? How does he?
Excited.
Excited, yeah. And how do you think the mom feels? Like, you can't see her face that well, but, yeah, I know, it's, yeah. So how did you, those of you who are parents, and I'm assuming that's all of you, how might you feel when your child took their first steps? You might feel excited or proud, or you might feel sort of that wistful sense that your child's growing up, right? So there's a lot of emotion, I think, expressed in here, and I think that that is something that's really interesting, and it tells a story. Now the next slide, please. This is the one I was talking about, reverse space. This is another People's Choice winner, and this is made out of stainless steel, and then it's powder coated. So that's kind of like, is that how they paint cars? I think it may be how they paint cars, but it's basically, they put a powder on it and they cook it really, really hard. And this is called going for your vision. Going for your vision. So this is all about going for your vision. I love the use of reverse space. So this is a wonderful place to talk about what is reverse space. Reverse space is what happens when you take something away. And this whole sculpture has lots and lots of really great reverse space. Reverse space can also be just space around the sculpture, but I think for elementary students, this is a place where it's so clear what reverse space is, so I really like that. The artist is Elisa Looney, and she really wanted to talk about the importance of going for your goals and visions and dreams in life. So, does any brave soul want to talk about how that title and that description might apply to that sculpture for them?
So I'll say,
Looks like swimming.
yeah, and I'll say red is a power color.
Red is a power color. Yeah, that's a great. I hadn't thought about that, but that's really true. Yeah. The posturing. Yeah. This figure's clearly moving forward, right? Yeah. So I think it's interesting that this is a very representational with some abstract components sculpture that has a very clear message. And the next, and I believe final slide is. How many of you have seen this one? This is in front of Lake Grove School. Okay, so here's my question. What do you think that apple represents?
Learning.
Learning, school. Yeah, every time I drive by it, that's what I think too. Apparently the artist, however, disagrees with me. So this is a sculpture called The Goal. And to the artist, this apple represents the goals that we have in life.
Oh, it says it's called, oh, it's a different one. This one says the dream.
It's called The Dream. I'm sorry, you were correct.
Attaining your goals.
They are about obtaining your goals.
The last one's the goal.
Yes, okay, goal or dream. Yep, sorry, because the last one is not a goal, you're right. So this is a stainless steel sculpture, it's representational, but I think the fact that it's in front of a school just makes me always think that that apple is about learning.
Yeah,
So. And now we have our last slide, which is extremely realistic in Westlake Park. This one is called The Goal. It's a series of bronze sculptures. And frankly, I probably wouldn't use this slide in a classroom presentation because to me it's so similar to First Steps. You might want to pick either or if you don't have time. But it is a sculpture that tells a story, I think is interesting. And I think it's interesting that it's how several sculptures put together sort of create that whole story.
It's really about setting too.
Yeah, right in front of that nice chain link fence.
You know, it's super interactive though.
It's a music park.
Played soccer, like when they're the
Yes.
same size as or smaller even than the sculptural reliefs around that sculpture, and it's so interactive. It's
Yes.
kids play with it.
It's
all, like,
almost
yeah.
too
That's
interactive because I've
always
seen kids climbing like right up here and I think, wow, how many kids is that like gonna stand? So,
It's been, I think it's been repaired, because I know one time we went in, there was
oh,
parts of it
really?
missing.
Okay, so it's had some damage.
Like the ball was gone once, and I think the little kid was gone once.
So that's it for this slide. So I hope that that gives you some sense of how you would want to present it. I mean, to me, I would focus more on the contrasts between the different sculptures, the different types of sculpture, the different materials being used, and that notion of abstract, representational, and realistic. So we have two